Think about how many conclusions people have come to throughout history that have eventually been proven false, despite a majority of society agreeing with the conclusions at the time they were made. This brings us to our next fallacy, appeal to the people, or as it's also known in Latin, Argumentum Ad Populum. This is an argument that concludes that something is true or false because many or most people believe that the conclusion is true or false. This fallacy is also known as the Bandwagon Fallacy, an appeal to the masses, or the Consensus Fallacy. Do we know that Christianity is true because it has more adherents in the world than any other religion? Do we know that a political candidate was the best choice in an election because they won the popular vote? Do we know that a musician has talent because their album sales are through the roof? The premise is most of society believes X. Conclusion, X is true. If this is meant to be a deductive argument, this argument is invalid because the premise is irrelevant to the conclusion. Something can be true even if many or most people believe it to be false, and vice versa. The same thing would apply to a deductive argument like this one. Most people do X, therefore X is the best way to achieve Y. As a deductive argument, the conclusion does not follow. But an appeal to the people can sometimes be valid in an inductive argument. For example, if a poll with a large population size is taken in a certain city, and the poll finds that 99.7% of people want their city council to take a certain measure on a certain issue, you could use that premise as an evidence to inductively argue that the next person from that area to be asked the same question will probably side with the majority. Here, what most people believe actually does have bearing on the trueness of the conclusion. But for instance, it would be fallacious to use that as proof deductively that what those 99.7% of people want their city council to do is the right thing to do, or that it will accomplish what they're aiming for. There are multiple approaches to appealing to the people. The bandwagon approach, hey, everyone is doing it, and what is sometimes called the snob approach, hey, all the best people are doing it, and the patriotic or tribalistic approach. Everyone is doing it who is a part of the group that you are a part of, or should be a part of, or want to be a part of. The appeal to the people fallacy is used all the time in advertising. Another example, employees of corporations often try to absolve themselves in criminal proceedings by saying, everyone in our industry does this. It should be obvious that not every idea or practice or opinion has merit by mere virtue of its popularity. But the appeal to the people fallacy is an important one to recognize because of how often and carelessly it's committed.